Masters table. Masters table.
Master elements.
Masters table. Masters table.
Racism, white supremacy is a dynamic system for the ultimate purpose of white genetic survival on the planet. White supremacy.
You are in an evil system, a system that is designed deliberately to produce evil thoughts, to produce animosity, to produce violence.
Introduction to African civilizations and man-garden civilization.
Master elements. Master elements.
We dedicate lives to the study of history.
They didn't tell us that if you give up the man, you're going to take one of these things and it's worse and it will destroy your nation.
The right way is clearly distinct from error.
Racism is a competitive relationship between groups of people who are competing for the ownership and control of resources, wealth, and power.
It's the Ticket Plug. We've been running an online ticket business for over a decade, and now we've created an easy way for you to do the same thing through our private ticket resale community. Joining our community will give you a way to flip your bread and generate profit income consistently. We provide you with all the tools, training, and resources needed to start your life-changing online ticket business. Zero experience needed. To join our ticket resale community, go to thetickettrap.com. Again, go to thetickettrap.com. That's thetickettrap.com.
And those Africans have to be organized to fight for their liberation.
GW Apparel, a clothing that speaks. Something for the kings, something for the queens. Visit uptsites.com and use promo code SLDG22 and receive 11% off your order. Peace.
Yeah, like that. Let's see what's in the God's mind. Listen.
Peace, family. What's good? Welcome to another episode of Sincere Love, the Godcast. I am the God Sincere Love, and I am here with my lovely co-host, Nicety Girl. What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, everybody. I'm tired, y'all. I didn't get into this morning.
Man, that makes two of us.
Yeah, I'm tired. So, but I'm here. I'm here. We are here. We're going to give y'all, that Godcast energy. And then after this, we're going to sleep. We're going to sleep.
Man. Yeah, but hold on, cause right as we was going live, what's going on with Jermaine Dupri and Roland Martin?
I think that Jermaine Dupri went on to the Roland Martin's YouTube channel for something. I think it's babble, from both of them. I don't think Jermaine is saying anything productive either.
Oh, sound like the bootleg was getting at him for something. I guess I don't know. I just seen as we was going on, I see this flyer. He's gonna be on the Roland Martin show for some reason. He was like, "Yeah, all y'all calling me names." So they must have been calling him stupid, dummy, and all of that too. What he must have questioned. He must have questioned
something.
He must have questioned Kamala and her policies or something, or lack of policy, lack thereof.
Because there isn't any. There isn't any. So there's no policies for us. Let me see what Jermaine talking about.
Right. I ain't see the whole thing, but looked like he been called all kind of stupid dummies and all that.
Right.
But
He ain't got enough of getting pulled up on for that reason, for that very reason. Because you're gonna get pulled up on again and
right,
somebody might throw hands the next time.
right, right. So yeah, man. Again, welcome to the Sincere Love the Godcast, everybody. As y'all coming in here, make sure that you hit the like button. When you hit the like button, that helps to boost our video into the YouTube algorithm. And it also helps to make sure that people who are subscribed to our YouTube channel do indeed get notifications whenever we go live with new episodes of Sincere Love the Godcast. So hit the like button, share this out on your social media platforms. Let everybody know that we are live right now on YouTube, Godcast Enterprises on YouTube, as well as Sincere Love the God on YouTube. Make sure you guys are subscribed and hit the notification bell as well. I'm on Kamala's website. We getting right into the business, ain't it?
That's what we do around here. No fluff, no fluff. We just get right to business.
I'm on Kamala's website, so let's do our weekly
Let's do
update.
this in real time.
Let's do our weekly update to see if we got anything new going on. I hadn't checked before we came on live, so we're gonna do this together as a family. Let's see what
Are there
Kamala.
any updates?
Let me share this with y'all so y'all can see what I see.
Is there a black agenda?
That's a long shot. Meet Kamala Harris, meet Tim Walz, take action, go to the store, donate. Okay.
Donate.
Okay. If we're going to win this election and save democracy, we need you on board. So let's get some of that data, email, phone number, zip code, all that. Don't see any platform. I don't see any policies. This is something.
It has to be one of those buttons at the top. It has to be one of those. I think you're missing it.
Let me see. 25, 47, 100, 250, 1,000. I don't see no policies, family. What week are we on? 5, 6?
Right.
It's like week 5 or 6, still no policies. And so many people are saying, this is deliberate. This is part of the strategy.
Yeah.
Because they're doing a very good job with the fundraising. And so why kill the momentum with policies, right? Why introduce policies and kill all the fundraising momentum? So
yeah. I mean, and honestly, why, when you got a bunch of Democratic shields under the guise of celebrities, rappers, entertainers, and things like that are jumping behind her, with no policy, no agenda. You have big lip, liver lip, Steve Harvey saying, don't ask for nothing. Just get out there and vote. You know what I'm saying? So honestly, it's like, why should they put anything up? Because at this point, they feel like, they got it in the bag anyway, as it pertains to foundational Black Americans or Black people in general.
I mean, the black vote, of course, we know is very important to a Democratic win.
It's the swing vote
on a federal level, but they also have other constituencies as well. They're not concerned that a lack of policy, might cause some concern to some of their other constituencies. You know what I'm saying? Because they need those votes as well, and typically other people vote based on policy. Other people are not just vote blue no matter who and just loyal to a party and voting for personalities and all of that dumb shit that too many of us get into. Most other people don't get down like that. You know what I'm saying? So do they know something we don't know?
Well, think about, what's that, her name? Iman something out there in Minnesota. She just won her seat again, but she's been running on basically ceasefire. You know what I'm saying? And she still heavily got the vote out there in Minnesota to maintain her seat. So people are, and I think that I believe. What's her name?
I'm saying I forgot her name, but you're talking about the Ethiopian.
The Ethiopian chick. You do have them out here saying that, they're not going to vote, they want a ceasefire. And I do believe that she hasn't as of yet, but I do believe that she's going to, do something. Either they're going to do it before the election, because technically Kamala and Harris are still, I'm sorry, Biden and Harris are still in office right now. And because he's kind of stepped down, wouldn't that kind of automatically give her the power right now
Well,
to do
no,
something now, or no?
no, he's still the president.
Okay.
He's
Well,
still the president, but she's a part of the administration. You know,
she's a
she
part of the administration, so they can do that now.
yeah, it's a lot that they could be doing now. They're doing a lot of the stuff that they're kind of throwing out there as campaign promises. A lot of that stuff they could have been did if they really wanted to do it. You know what I'm
They
saying?
can still do it now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These so-called, the economic plan and taxing the rich and all of the stuff that they got her running around talking about doing. I mean, they could do it now, and they had the last 3 years and change to do it. So
right, and still got time.
So yeah.
And still got time. I just think it's a bunch of bull crap. But as far as foundational Black Americans, when we have our quote unquote, and I'm just say like our sister Vicky Dealer says, misleaders. You have Steve Harvey, don't ask for nothing. You have Plies out there. She might be the first Black president. You have Uncle Puke out here screaming and hollering at the top of his lungs, and he's a non-foundational Black American. You just have so many of them screaming and hollering and yelling at the rooftop, telling us to vote for this woman because she's an AKA and went to an HBCU. But like Kwame Brown said, her going to an HBCU and pledging a sorority or being a part of a sorority is not going to buy my bread. That's not going to feed my family. She's good. We're not.
I mean, so yeah, man. That's what we're talking about today. Of course, we still, going all the way up to November. We're going to be beating this drum. And so we just came past this past week. They had the Democratic National Con job that we all, for the most part. I mean, I saw the viral clips and stuff like that. I really didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it.
I can't really take too much of it. You know what it is already. You know what to expect, and there's really no substance. It's just a lot of fluff. It's a big old party.
Hope.
Joy. It's a lot of joy and partying, bullshitting. No substance. So there's no way I was going to force myself to sit there and watch all of that. Really, I can't. I can only take but so much. But of course, we got to cover it. We still got to cover it. So, like I said, I was reading the news and seeing the viral clips from the convention and all that. So, I got enough information. Got all I needed to know. Because if there was anything substantive, that would have damn sure been viral. Right? If they said anything really meaningful, that would have really, really been viral, because they need something. Because really, the convention didn't do anything to expand their reach. You know what I'm saying? It was just reinforcement for the people who was already on board. That's all it really was. You know what I'm saying? It was just a little morale boost for the people who was already on board. You know what I'm saying? And so they had a bunch of celebrities out there, mostly Black celebrities.
Yeah, of course.
Come out there and everybody just taking shots at Trump.
And that was what I gathered, is that was the entire convention, is taking shots at Trump, pretty much.
Yeah, it was like a Trump roast. Everybody get up there, take turns, roasting Trump. And in the meantime, Trump was tweeting live while everything was happening. Trump was tweeting live, and that's a funny dude.
It is. And I think he's a Gemini too.
Yo, Trump be having me laughing, man. He be having some good ones though. I ain't gonna lie. He be having me laughing, man. And so one of the things that they did, they brought out the Central Park Five.
Right.
The exonerated five, I think they call them now.
Right.
Exonerated five. To come out and talk about, Trump took out a 5-page article and what was it, the New York Times or something? And basically, just made it seem like Trump was the reason why,
they got prosecuted.
Yeah. And the thing is, the thing that I'm looking at too, like, it's a lot of people that's out here right now pushing hard for the Democrats, who was around back then also.
Right.
You know, the
Right.
Oprah Winfrey's and some of these big name people who are out there going hard for the Democrats. They was around back then also, and I don't remember them putting on the cape for the Central Park Five.
I
You
don't
know what I'm
remember
saying?
that either, or even shunning Trump for placing the ads. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one said anything.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So the media, you know what I'm saying, the fourth wing of the government, they was doing their job to demonize those brothers, and a lot of people bought into that. You know what I'm saying? Back
Yeah.
then you didn't have social media and all of this stuff where you can get online and fact check things and communicate with people and find out what's really going on the ground in different areas and stuff like that. You only thing you had to go off of was a media narrative.
The
You know what I'm
news.
saying?
You're right.
Media narrative. So a lot of people bought into that and believed that they were guilty of what they were being charged for. You know what I'm saying?
And
And
so
Trump
what
was one
makes
of
Trump that he's one of those people who believe what was being, displayed in the news and the papers.
and he just happened to be, who he is and had the resources to, try to do something about it. You know what I'm
But
saying?
are we not going to talk about the Democrat DA?
Right.
The Clintons at the time, who was his homies.
Right. Trump was
Like,
a
we're just
Democrat.
gonna, dismiss all those people. Y'all can get up on stage and sing Kumbaya with the Clintons and everything, right? The only one though that you're mad at is Trump.
Right. I don't understand that. The woman who prosecuted you was a big Democratic donor. She was a Democrat herself. You know what I'm saying?
Democratic
Like
states.
I said, none of these people put the cape on for y'all back then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Oprah wasn't using her platform to try to defend y'all or anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
And she had she had a huge platform. Let's be clear. In the
Right.
90s, it was all about Oprah. 90s
Right.
and early 2000s.
Right. So I don't know, I don't understand those guys. What they get out of all this? What y'all getting out of this? But a lot of people are easily co-opted. You know what I'm saying? They're not really, a lot of people, especially those people that got theirs. You know what I'm saying? I got mine. People, they're not really concerned with what's in the best interest of the masses of Black people. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I got mines.
Right. I got my Social Security check. I got, my pension, you know what I'm saying? So I'm good.
Right. Right. Those it's a lot of those people, and it's not just the celebrities, you know what I'm saying, and the high profile people who feel like that and get down like that. It's a lot of people that I know personally, you know what I'm saying, who have that same mindset, that same sentiment. They're like, y'all niggas out here talking about reparations shit. I'm good.
Right. I
Man,
mean, I get offended, when I hear people that I'm close to, whether it's family or friends, but I do get offended a bit when you're having the conversations about reparations and things like that. And then you have Black people saying, well, we're not going to get it. They're not going to give it to us. Niggas want a handout. It's like they start to take on the ideologies of the white supremacists, to me. You know what I'm saying? I can again say that within my own family and friend group, a lot of people still have that mindset of it being a handout and not a debt that is owed. And again, a lot of these people that have that mindset are people who are good, And my mom, I recall her being on the phone with a friend of hers, and she said, I have grandchildren and great grandchildren. She said, I may not live to see reparations, but it's up to me right now, today, to make sure I do everything in my power today to make sure that they do get it, or at least they get something. Because the policies that we're voting on today is going to be something that may impact my children, grandchildren, and great grandchildren tomorrow. So the older generation has to kind of stop thinking about, the good feeling that they're getting right now, because your benefits are not going to leave, right? But you need to be voting for the future generation if you're into voting, or if that means something to you so much.
right. But a lot of this stuff, it does work, man. It is very effective on a lot of our people. And so, like I said, like I've been saying the last couple of weeks, I believe she has a good chance of winning. You know,
Mm-hmm.
when at first, I wouldn't really think so because we remember, her original campaign when she was running for president. She didn't even make it out the primaries. Her whole campaign crash and burn easy. She wasn't popular at all. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? The minute that we start putting out a lot of dirt about her, that just did her in. You know what I'm saying?
So why is
And
she
so
popular now?
exactly, like and that's the point about the power of the media in the way that they're able to shape people's opinions, popular opinion about things, because she wasn't popular at all. You know what I'm
Mm-mm.
saying? And there wasn't a lot of pushback when we put out information about her, when the black media was putting out a lot of information about her track record as a prosecutor, as attorney general, all of
Mm-hmm.
that. There wasn't a lot of pushback to that. People was like,
Nope.
hey, yeah, she kind of dirty, and she ain't make it far at all. So when they first was throwing it out there that he was going to drop out and she was going to be the nominee or whatever, I'm like, well, that ain't going to work, because I'm thinking it's just going to be a repeat of that. But
Right.
I was underestimating, how much they was going to put behind her the way that they've been doing these last
Mm-hmm.
few weeks. Like the media has been going hard. They have successfully, um, um, remade her image.
Right.
They have successfully remade her image. She is a darling all of a sudden. You know what I'm
But
saying?
is it that they remixed her image, or are people just, scared of racist Trump? You know what I'm saying? Because I see people circulating, those white supremacists that came out with their tan pants on. I forget what they were or whatever. And it's some people, this is a platform out here in LA, this guy that runs it, but he's supposed to be like a Muslim, which is strange to me, very strange. But it's like, with Trump getting in, this is what we gonna get. The police are gonna, to be able to do what they want. And then his platform is about like police shootings or homicides here in the South Central or just California areas for the most part. They already have it. So I get so confused. Is it that she's popular, or are people just scared of Trump?
There is both. They made her popular. They
Because
made
they're
her
scared of
popular.
Trump.
They cleaned up her image. They made her to be this sister girl, a black girl magic. You would think she was like some kind of civil rights icon that they
Right.
got out here right now. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a powerful thing that they do, and of course, they're gonna use the boogeyman Trump because it's a lot of scared Negroes out there, and
That's what irks me.
not just Negroes, but just people in general. It's a lot of scared folks out there that they know that fear thing works. And
Yeah.
Trump, he don't make it no better for himself. You know
No.
what I'm saying? 'Cause I was watching his thing too when he was live on Instagram at his convention, and he still fills up big arenas. By the way, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? The media don't show you the type of crowds that Trump be bringing out, but Trump brings them out too. Like you saw the crowds at the Democratic National Convention. Trump brings out crowds like that, and he don't need the celebrities and all of that stuff around him.
To do
They
it.
come out for Trump. But I was watching his thing, and he's shouting out, to Charlie Kirk's and Turning Point USA and all of these, white supremacist entities, these far right, alt right entities, and all of that. So he don't make it no better for
For
himself.
himself.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, do you think that that's his advisors have him doing that, or, he's just on his own catering, or in his mind catering to that base that he feels that got him in the first time? But a lot of that's dead ass Trump. You got to come off some policies
Yeah,
for this vote over here. If because if he offers some tangibles, obviously he will have a huge number of people, that can take him over. You know, but it doesn't seem like he's interested in doing that either.
to me, it's hard to say with Trump, whether it's the advisors or whether it's just him, because when
Hmm.
I watch Trump, like when he's doing his speeches and all of that stuff, he seems like he's just shooting from the hip. He don't seem very scripted.
You're right. He ain't reading a prompter.
Everything is not just robotic and just
Right.
like he's just up there doing his thing. He's in the moment, and I think that's part of the Trump appeal. Also, what I'm saying, he comes
Hmm.
across extremely authentic. You know what I'm saying, and it doesn't seem like nobody got no strings on him or they got their hand up his back like a puppet. It seems like it's him. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know. I can't call it. as far as that. But he is a very appealing figure, and so that goes to show why it's not an easy win for the Democrats. You know what I'm saying?
Do you trust the poll numbers?
That's a good question.
Because again, we know how powerful the media is and how manipulative it can be in swaying narratives and decisions of people. And when you're on the street, really, really talking to people in the street, for me, I don't. Even though we have the people that fear Trump, I just feel like our generation is more, nah, we want something for our vote, or I'm not feeling her too much, like I'm still trying to weigh it out. I'm not a fan of Trump, I'm not a fan of her either. It's kind of where I feel like our peers and maybe even the younger generation is saying. But then when you see those numbers right there, I'm like, that's not what the streets are saying. Which I understand, the point of this post. These are registered voters, but you have a lot of people that have been registered Democrats, including myself, for the longest time. But the last, election, I did not vote Democrat.
But you're still registered, though.
But I'm still registered. Exactly. So that's my point.
Right. See, I don't know. I always wonder about these polls because I'm like, why they don't ever ask me?
Right.
Ain't nobody ever poll me.
Right.
So where y'all be at doing these polls? That's what I always wonder. And then the other thing that really gets me, they always popping up at somebody's barbershop somewhere.
But not yours. In Atlanta.
Why y'all
of all places?
Right. Always, every election season, y'all at the damn barbershop somewhere. And y'all seem to find the most Samboist barbershop y'all can find to go to somehow.
Right. Right.
Either that or people who really don't know much, you know what I'm saying, about what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Which is intentional too.
Yeah. Because they try to make it seem like that's us. That's all of us. They use those as proxies for us. We the low information voters.
Low information voters, and if we can continue to push that narrative, that we're dummies, like Roland Martin says, right? So he helps push that narrative too.
Oh, yeah.
Low information, we're dumb. Hence why, we need a leader, because they always talk about the leaders. We're the Black leaders. Black people have this thing where they feel that we need to be, led by someone, a person, versus letting the code lead us. It's always we're looking for a person to lead us. And then we get the Rollins and the Joyless Reeds and all these people. Then there you have it. We're getting nothing for our vote. But they're getting donations. Well, Joy Reid works for MSNBC or something like that. Then Roland has his YouTube channel, but we know that he gets funding, from the Democratic Party as well. They cut checks over there because he was complaining about it a few years ago. And from my understanding, funding is supposed to roll out again next week, to these quote unquote influencers and stuff like that. So we'll see, if he's upset again or how loud he'll be tap dancing, booty clapping. If his check don't come.
Yeah. And by the way, also when Oprah was speaking at the DNC, another thing Trump did was he put out a handwritten letter
from her.
That Oprah to him back in the days when she was talking about his book and all of this stuff, and she was talking about how it would be cool if him and her were to run for president as running mates and all of that.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, this nigga Trump, he be having his gotcha moments, boy.
Right. And she should have. And my thing is, when you have people like that, I feel like y'all should just be quiet. Even if you feel a way, especially if you've written him notes or whatever, just sit back and be quiet, because he's going to shoot his shot, as he should, because he has to defend himself too.
Right. Right. And the internet is the internet. Y'all know we're in the internet age. That stuff is going to come out. We're going to dig it up and put it out there. So before you could count on people having short-term memories or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But the internet don't forget nothing.
Nothing. You got a phone or a computer, you got an encyclopedia, you got a dictionary, you got receipts.
Indeed. So you wanna get into the Uncle Luke back and forth with Tariq?
Yeah, we can. So Uncle Puke, as I call him, and I think I told you guys about a year ago, 2 years ago, so he cussed me out on Twitter. Um, because you just my thing is he also changed 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago because he was caping for the Democrats. Then he started talking about the black vote and how black people weren't getting anything and they're turning black people off. Obviously, a check got cut, to him. So yesterday, I believe it started where he started to tag Tariq, you know, and calling Tariq the leader, of FBAs and stuff like that. And I'm gonna go over, to Tariq's page because Tariq kind of just directly replied to him after a while. So this was definitely yesterday when he said,
let me play the video real quick.
Oh yeah.
And then we can go to the Twitter thread. So here was Uncle Luke. I don't know who he's talking to on the live, but I think he was on live with somebody or he was recording a phone call. I don't know. I can't tell.
It looks like an Instagram live.
Yeah, but usually when you're on live with somebody, both of y'all are on the screen. So I don't know what this was, but he started talking about Tariq. Check it out.
Black men, and most of them hang out on Twitter. Tariq Nasheed.
Oh my God. I do not like him. I swear, I feel like he's an agent.
Yeah. At the end of the day, they get on there, they fool these people with these doctors and these books and all.
Yo, and that's the thing that a lot of these people like to do. They like to insult us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we stupid. You know what I mean? Like, Tariq is just fooling all of us because we so damn dumb. Tariq could just say anything and we don't know no better, so we just follow whatever Tariq say. And look, he fooling us with all these doctors and all these books. What kind of ignorant shit is that to say?
Right.
That's a shot at Dr. Claude Anderson. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Many of the scholars that we big up, he fooling us with all of these doctors and all of these books. That remind me, I ain't gonna throw this person under the bus, but somebody said something dumb like that to me one time. We was having a conversation about an issue that was happening amongst us, and I brought up something. I made some kind of point, and this person was like, "That's because you always reading all them books. That's your problem now. You're always reading them damn books."
Wow.
I'm like, what?
Stop educating yourself, Negro.
Like, what? That's what this nigga just said. This Uncle Luke he fooling them with all these doctors and all these books. Like, what?
Right. So when you get sick, Luke, or if you need surgery or something, who do you go to?
Oh man, we low informational because we listening to all these doctors and reading all these books. Y'all reading Powernomics and shit. Not like, what the hell kind of shit is that to say? But that's what he said. Hold on.
All that, and they try and separate the black community. Mind you, here's the guy I'm talking about, descendants of slaves. Married to a white lady. Which I'm like, are y'all following him? You know what I'm saying? So I like that's a group.
Kamala is married to a white man. Nigga. So this is who we're supposed to follow her and give her our vote. This black woman who's married to a white man and raising his 3 white children.
Yeah, based off of Uncle Luke's logic.
So that should count. So we should not vote for her just on that then, right?
Right. Because y'all be throwing Ketanji Jackson in our face and all of that stuff. All these black women that y'all want us to support got white men.
Right.
All of them. And Tariq's wife is not white. So that was a lie.
That was a lie. A bold-faced lie. And if you don't know, then shut up. If you're going by what other people are saying, or you read a tweet somewhere in your timeline, it was your job to do that research before you spit that out your mouth.
Yeah, I'm gonna play that again. Hold on.
Black men, and most of them hang out on Twitter. Tariq Nasheed.
Oh my God, I do not like him.
Anybody know who that is that's talking?
I have no idea.
I swear, I feel like he's an agent. An agent.
Black Americans, right? An agent. I would like to know an agent for who, because
right.
Which agency? which agency is for the empowerment of foundational black Americans?
I'm just saying. Can we please,
can
someone tell us the governmental agency?
Is it the feds? Is it the CIA? Who is Tariq working for?
Right.
Because somebody got our back.
Right.
Somebody got our back that I ain't know about.
Right. Right. Like
that's just confusing. I think he's an agent. An agent because you out here advocating for the only group of people who have zero advocacy.
Right.
We the only group of people in the United States of America who have zero political advocacy.
And Luke is doing he's doing what we call all tethers out for doing, not the on code African and Caribbeans. Let's be clear. And 2 years ago, which I just put that in the in our materials, this was addressed on a space 2 years ago between Tariq and Luke. By the way, what FBA is, differentiating tethers from Africans, Caribbeans, and stuff like that, just like they got names for us, like Akata and Jariers and everything else. So we got a name for y'all too. But
yeah. But hold on. Don't conflate that. Don't conflate that, because when they say Akata, when they say Jariers, they're not talking about certain type of Black Americans. They're talking about all of us.
Yeah.
They're talking about all of us. When we talk about tethers, we're talking about a
specific group.
Talking about it. It's based on your actions. You doing shit to undermine foundational Black Americans. You out here cosplaying us and trying to co-opt our culture and different things like that. That's what makes you a tether.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Trying to misrepresent us and all of that. That's what makes you a tether. Not because you're not from our lineage, not because you from an immigrant background. No, that doesn't make you a butt. And Akata, that's all of us.
When did we find out Luke was in FBA?
I've been know that. I
didn't.
I don't know when it became well known, but when everybody found out, but I've been knew that.
I never knew, to be honest. But yeah, Luke's full of crap. It's been addressed 2 years ago. I think that he's trying to use Tariq's name for clout for his spaces, to be honest. And because honestly, he doesn't get Tariq numbers in any of his spaces, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? So I think he reached out to Tariq, and said, hey, let's do a space together and talk about it. No, you said what you said, and I'm not doing a space with you. For what? I don't need you, to come over here and tell me anything, because you said what you said already. He could have reached out to Tariq in private if he wanted to talk about it.
Right. And the thing is, this also lets us know, because again, I think we discussed last week, Tariq put out the invite to both parties.
Yeah.
Put out an open invitation to Kamala Harris as well as Donald Trump to come have a sit down at the Hidden History Museum to talk about, what's in this thing for foundational Black Americans and why we should be supporting, either candidate. And Uncle Luke has had a sit down with Kamala Harris to talk about a bunch of nothing. And so the fact that he's coming out with this attack, talking about foundational Black Americans and Tariq specifically and all of that, that lets us know that they got the message.
They got the message. And the message is on the top. The message has reached the top already.
Right, exactly. Hold on, let me let him play this one more time.
Yeah. At the end of the day, they get on there, they fool these people with these doctors and these books and all that, and they try and separate the Black community. Mind you, here's the guy I'm talking about, descendants of slaves, married to a white lady, which I'm like, are y'all following him? You know what I'm saying? So I like that's a group of Black men.
What's going on? Some chick named Star.
Hey, cousin.
I wasn't ignoring y'all in the chat. Let me see what y'all talking about over here.
Right. I didn't even have a chat up. I ain't gonna lie. I told y'all I'm on low sleep right now. I didn't get into this morning.
They said Luke sound drunk.
Always sounds drunk or I don't know, like he has a speech impediment.
Yeah, that's them trying to hide the accent. You know, they still got that accent, so they be trying to hide the accent and shit. Shout out to the God Knowledge Born. Peace, God.
Peace, God. See you on the Godcast soon.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to crew royalty in the building. What's going on, Peace. King? Peter Ogun. I don't know. I was trying to find out who the broad is as well. Shout out to Peter Ogun in the building. What's going on? Yes, indeed. Shout out to Realer Than Real in the building as well. Y'all make sure that y'all hit that like button, by the way. Make sure that y'all hit that like button and share this out. What's up, Seb? Yeah, you can have a cookie. Go ahead. Enjoy. Enjoy, my man. Yeah, like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. So you have put another one in here with the conversation with him and Tariq. Let me see.
That was the that's just a video of him and Tariq doing the space 2 years ago. And I felt like they had a very productive conversation. And, you know, the understanding was there or whatever. But now, 2 years later, after he said African Americans get nothing from the Democratic Party, all they do is use us for our vote. This is Luke on May 1st, 2022. I'm happy I'm a Democrat so that I don't have to explain why I'm a Republican. What is that? Like 2 years later. But yeah, that's just a video.
Shout out to Cherry Down. Yeah, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it in a second. I'm just seeing what they talking about in the chat. Shout out to my brother Ish in the building. What's going on?
What's up, Ish?
Peace, peace, peace. I don't know, Terry. See, I don't like to do that. Me personally, I don't like to do that. Terry said Luke is not a hip hop legend. He is nothing but a hype man. I feel you, but I don't really like to do that. We could just, call it for what it is without trying to rewrite history. That's my opinion. My opinion on that. He is a legend in hip hop. I give him that. You know what I'm saying? And we have hype men that are legends. You know what I'm saying? Flavor Flav was a hype man. He's a legend.
That's the only one I could think of.
Spliff Star. Spliff Star.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Spliff Star is? That's Busta Rhymes hype man. You know Spliff Star?
I swear I've never heard that name before, and if I have, I don't remember.
That's Busta Rhymes hype man. But yeah, we got legendary hype men in hip hop. Yeah, like Ish said, he's a legend. He's just not relevant to our issues. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. You could be a legend and still be a tether. You could be a hip hop legend and still be a tether.
He's definitely a tether.
He's absolutely 100% a tether. But let me play the video you was talking about, though. Over here.
I don't think I have that on here.
See, I lost the audio.
What audio?
Now, sometimes when I share the screen, the audio goes out. Give me 1 second, y'all. Bear with me 1 second.
Bear with him while he, gets the audio together. Make sure you guys are liking and sharing this video out. And so, yeah, like we're saying, he is definitely a tether. I just feel like now that this election, is getting closer, he's really, really coming out swinging on Tariq or any FBA, because every post that Luke puts on Twitter at this point, or X, I should say, it starts off with, "Hey, FBA, hey, or Tariq's people, the FBA." Is like he's really taking direct jabs at us, and he's been like doing it more and more. It's getting increasingly aggressive and disrespectful.
Right. And I did want to say this too about Terry's comment about Uncle Luke or whatever not being a hip hop legend. Also, to be clear, that style that Uncle Luke had, that kind of call and response thing, the chanting and all stuff that he was doing, that comes from FBA culture as well. And he's on video admitting that he got that from the go-go groups. That comes up out of DC and Virginia and all of that. You know what I'm saying? The go-go music and all that. That's where he got his style from. So that's an FBA thing. But let me play the video. We got the audio back.
It's dire straits for foundational Black Americans right now, and we have to have the tangibles that we're supposed to get.
Let me ask you, and I asked the same question to another young man on here. Have you guys lobbied Congress and the Senate on the check? Have you had sat down and met with these people? If so, tell us some of the people you met with.
We've been.
See, my thing about that too, that's like a bad faith question.
Mm-hmm.
They always trying to make it seem like the reason why we're not getting any type of compensation or any legislation is because we don't know how to go about it. We're not doing it the right way.
Play Uncle the game.
Luke, you got these people's ear and attention. You know what I'm saying? Right. You able to sit down with Kamala and some of the top dogs in the Democratic Party and all of that. Have you asked them about our check, nigga?
Right.
Have you advocated for us to get our check?
Right. What you tell them, Luke?
Right. If not, what you there for?
Because
you don't represent us. You're not from our lineage and you don't represent us. Luke is pulling the same trick that DL. Oh, yeah. DL too. Luke is pulling the same trick that DL, Hughley, Roland Martin, and that crowd. They get hostile when they cannot understand or destroy our points. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And it also goes back to that post that I put a few days ago with Minister Farrakhan in 2005, at the Black National Convention, when he said he was talking to the Black misleaders on stage, and he said, you guys are talking about going to lunch with the president, going to the White House, and you still come out with nothing for your people. What good is it if you're sitting at these tables, going to these luncheons, showing up at the White House, posing for pictures, and you still come out with not one tangible policy for your people? So otherwise, it's a farce. It's a farce if you're doing all this and you're not coming back with anything for your people.
All you got is a photo. All 32 of your teeth showing in the photo.
That's it.
That you was in the big house.
That's all. And when I watch that sometimes just periodically just to hear Farrakhan say that, and it gives me chills because it's like that was 2005. You know what I'm saying? 19 years ago. And here we are saying the same damn thing. They're still doing photo ops. They're still going to the White House, still saying that they sat at the table. Yeah, you're coming from the table with nothing, not even crumbs for us. They're not even bringing back crumbs.
Not even an empty promise. That's one thing that we can't even accuse the Democrats of. We can't even accuse them of saying, well, you promised us this and you didn't come through with you broke your promises. They tell you straight up and down they ain't gonna do shit for you.
Right.
Or they try to throw some trick words in there to make it seem like, but they don't never actually make any type of promises towards us. That's one thing I gotta say. We can't say they broke their promise. They did exactly what they said they was gonna do. They said you niggas better learn how to deal with the Hispanics.
Yeah.
Ain't that what they told us?
Right.
They said they asked Joe Biden about reparations. He said, what about the Native Americans? He started talking about immigration and Native Americans. So we can't say they broke no promises. Should I play more of this? This is,
not really.
It's a long video.
Yeah,
obviously they can play the whole thing, but should I play some more? Let me just hear what Tariq's response was to that bad faith question about have y'all lobbied any of the politicians? Who'd you sit down with?
Dealing with the California reparations form out here, we've been very active with that. We were the ones who got them to designate that the reparations is going to be lineage based. So we are extremely active with the reparations committee out here in California. You had our good brother like Ice Cube wanting to meet with Biden to talk about tangibles for foundational Black Americans, and Biden said that they would do a meeting with them, but they never did it. So the Democrats are playing these types of games, and we're letting them know we're not going to support you if you want to play these little hide and seek games when it comes to giving us something. We just had a bunch of Black people killed in Buffalo, and in the response, Biden invited a bunch of Asians to the White House to talk about an Asian hate crime bill.
And they did an anti-Semitic bill.
Exactly.
Playing in our faces is an understatement. For real, for real. But yeah, that's y'all Uncle Luke, man.
And just speaking of, because I want to just piggyback quickly on what he was saying about the California reparations situation here. Dewan made a point, yesterday, because he went to one of the reparations meetings last week as well. He basically tagged, Roland Martin, D.L. Hughley Plies, Ricky Smiley, Steve Harvey, Joy Reid, and Luke, and said, imagine if we had an echo chamber. There is generally only a handful of us at the reparations meeting, and we still pushed 4 bills to the governor's desk. Imagine if we had support from celebrities and y'all fake only care about policies every 4-year ass Kamala supporting Democrats. Yes, he said Democrats. I thought that was classic Democrats, but yeah.
Yeah, Democrats
Seriously,
and
where
Republicans.
are they at when this is happening? Where y'all at? Why aren't y'all just as loud?
Nah, yeah, it makes a good point. We able to push the needle the way that we have with our small numbers.
Right.
With our small numbers. Just imagine if we had, the platforms of somebody with the reach up of Steve Harvey, DL Hughley, and all of these people that they got out here shilling for the Dems. If we had people like that on our side, imagine how far along we would be. You know what I'm saying? But we all we got, and that's all we need.
Right.
Melanin on Code said the Democrats have reneged on policies specifically for foundational Black Americans. Refresh my memory, Melanin on Code. Which policies did they promise and then never came through with? Refresh my memory, because for my recollection, all that they do is a bunch of benign neglect. Use broad, ambiguous terms. Whenever our issues come up, they use broad and ambiguous terms, and for the most part, they do follow through with that. They said, "We told you we was going to do something for minorities. Look, we got a minority program right here. We told you we got y'all. Here go your minority program. We did this for distressed communities. Remember?
Right.
Ain't that what y'all wanted? That's all I remember.
Because remember when Biden got elected, he promised to have our backs. I think he meant way back. Like, I'm gonna be way back there, doing stuff for everybody else, because he definitely hasn't had our back. So he really, really meant to say, I'm gonna be way, way back, in my office and writing all these bills and executive orders, for everybody but y'all. But I don't remember a specific policy. He just said he'll have our backs, but that didn't happen.
So is it time to remind everybody of this Zoom call right here?
I think so.
Never forget, Black family. And look, this Negro right here, this NAACP Negro, I forgot his name, down at the bottom left. He was at the DNC. Who's this right here? I can't see some of the faces. It's a little blurry, but it was a bunch of NAACP, Urban League, Divine Nine Negroes on this call that Biden was talking to you, for those that don't remember. I think Sharpton was on this call. Yeah, they go Sharpton right there.
This country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. You hear me?
So when the country becomes minority white European,
we're doomed.
The country is doomed. We doomed if white people ain't the majority.
Right.
Not just because of African Americans, but white European. He's specific. Not white Latinos. White Europeans are going to be the minority. So this country is doomed.
The fear of genetic annihilation.
So I know y'all don't got me on this call thinking I'm about to address y'all issues. We got our own issues. We about to be a minority out here. The last thing we about to do is address y'all issues. So let's be clear. This is your man, Joe Biden.
Minority, white, European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do.
And that's another thing right there too that I talked about on one of the episodes of Sincerely the Godcast, that whole Hispanic thing. In actuality, we still have the largest numbers out of the so-called minority groups. But with the Hispanics, what they did was they formed a illegitimate conglomerate by splicing together Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, taking all of these different groups and putting them under one umbrella and just saying, oh, well, they all Hispanic. You know what I'm saying? When actually they don't have the same lineage. They don't have the same culture. They don't have nothing in common with each other than that they speak Spanish.
That's
it. You know what I'm saying? But they're not the same lineage group. We are the largest lineage group out of all of the minority groups in this country still to this day. So that's really a lie that he just said right there. Let me rewind it a little bit.
Thanks. Who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do.
And he said that with his chest too.
You hear that? Y'all do.
What you said, Joe Biden?
And have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do. This country is.
Yeah.
This country is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but basically we're the main reason.
Right.
Y'all caught that.
Right. Has Kamala condemned that? I want to know if Kamala condemned that at all. Well, I want to get into this article that I put in here about Democrats talking about restoring the soul of America. And this is going to be an example of what we're talking about when we say the benign neglect and these broad, ambiguous terms and how they use the plight of foundational Black Americans in order to uplift everybody.
Everybody else.
They use our plight and all of the injustice that happened to us specifically and nobody else to uplift everybody else and their mama.
Here it is. I found it. Healing the Soul of America. I just found it.
Okay, you're talking about the George Floyd bill. Okay. Yeah, the George Floyd bill was a big pump fake too. We went over to some of the detail. We went over to some of the details of the George Floyd bill, but I feel where you're coming from with that one. I feel where you're coming from with that one. But the only thing about the George Floyd bill, it really didn't have no teeth in it. It really didn't have no teeth in it. The thing is this: when it comes to a lot of the stuff that goes on with these police killings and all of that stuff, you know, we need a hate crime bill specifically for foundational Black Americans. I'm definitely a big proponent of that. But at the same time, we don't really need new laws if they just enforce the laws that's already on the damn books.
That's it.
They already breaking the law when they do these things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So really just enforce the laws that already exist. We don't really need all these new laws and shit. There's enough laws. We got more laws in this country than anywhere on the damn planet. If they just enforce the laws when it comes to protecting us, we'll be fine. But let's get into this article here. Put this on screen.
And this is at Democrats.org, by the way. This article is on Democrats.org.
Right. It's called Healing the Soul of America. And let me just scroll down because I just want to get into this one part here. Was it there? Let me see. So I think it's up in here. Yeah. All right. So we'll just do the part that's entitled Achieving Racial Justice and Equity. Achieving Racial Justice and Equity. Historic wrongs and abuse perpetrated against Native Americans, first people they name,
Right.
2.5 centuries of slavery, that would be us. And 100 years of Jim Crow segregation, that's us again.
That's us
And
again.
a history of exclusionary immigration policies have created profound and lasting inequities in the income, wealth, education, employment, housing, environmental quality, and healthcare for communities of color.
Of color. Who's that? That ain't me.
Everybody. They start off the paragraph talking about everybody.
Yeah, everybody.
One thing we gonna do is we not gonna address you niggas and you niggas only.
Who have a very unique grievance here in America, and long one at that.
So again, this is Democrats.org, healing the soul. And whenever you hear that word soul, that's supposed to give the psychic, that's supposed to give a psychic image in our mind that they talking about us.
Right.
Because we the soul of America. We right. The ones with the soul music and the soul food and all of that. So healing the soul of America, that's supposed to appeal directly to us. Where was I?
Right here, Democrats are committed.
All right. Democrats are committed to standing up to the racism and bigotry in our laws, in our culture, in our politics, and in our society. And recognize that race-neutral policies are not sufficient to rectify race-based disparities. That sentence right there is beautiful. That sounds like Dr. Claude Anderson right there. You know what I'm saying? Race-neutral policies are not sufficient to rectify race-based disparities. So Dr. Claude Anderson say, you can't put me in a ditch because I'm black and then forget about being black. Now we're going to be minorities and all that. Right. How the hell are we going to get out the ditch?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Something like that. That wasn't verbatim, but y'all Dr. Claude Anderson students, y'all know what I'm talking about. It says we will take a comprehensive approach to embed racial justice in every element of our governing agenda, including jobs and job creation, workforce and economic development, small business and entrepreneurship. For who? Okay. Right. Eliminating poverty and closing the racial wealth gap.
That's been the drum we've been beating.
Right. How we going? So if y'all committed to closing the racial wealth gap, then you shouldn't be opposed to reparations.
Period.
If you say you are committed to closing the racial wealth gap, the first thing on the top of the agenda should be reparations for foundational Black Americans. Right? But let's see what they talking about. Promoting asset building and home ownership, education, healthcare, criminal justice reform, environmental justice, and voting rights. Democrats will ensure federal data collection and analysis is adequately funded and designed to allow for disaggregation by race and ethnicity. Yes, let's do that. Let's disaggregate the data and exclude everybody else.
Right.
That's called delineation. Let's disaggregate the data and talk about the things that are harming specific ethnicities. We are a specific ethnicity.
Like we're not the Asians. Just like y'all did the Asians.
Exactly. Democrats will ensure, disaggregate by race and ethnicity, among other important factors, to better design policies to address the needs of the most vulnerable communities and make informed policy choices. Hate and its symbols have no home in America. Hate and its symbols have no home in America. Whenever I'm driving down 85, Interstate 85, north or south, depending if I'm coming or going, I see Confederate flags all along the highway.
No.
I'm talking about huge Confederate flags.
Wow.
I'm talking about these things are huge. They're not in somebody's yard. They right along the highway, waving loud and proud. Okay? Democrats believe that we can only build a more just and equitable future if we honestly reckon with our history and its legacy in the present. Sound good to me. Let's get to it. We support removing the Confederate battle flag and statues of Confederate leaders from public properties. Well, y'all in office now.
Right. So just do it. Like Nike, just do it.
When you gonna get to removing them? Okay, I guess we'll wait. We recognize Black history has too often been intentionally suppressed or excluded from our history books, and will invest in recovering, celebrating, and highlighting Black history as American history. You can't talk about American history without talking about Black history. First and foremost, you can't talk about America. We are American history. Democrats believe Juneteenth, oh Lord, represents the end of slavery, the freedom of millions of enslaved Black Americans, and should be recognized as a federal holiday.
We want some money. Shit.
Right. So far, right? They didn't talk about doing anything.
No.
They're pointing out all of these disparities. So far, they haven't talked about doing anything about it, any of it.
No solutions.
So we believe Black Lives Matter and will establish a national commission to examine the lasting economic effects of slavery, Jim Crow segregation, and racially discriminatory federal policies on income, wealth, educational, health, and employment outcomes to pursue truth and promote racial healing, and to study reparations.
That last paragraph was very specific to foundational Black Americans only, by the way. But we ain't studying shit. We already know. What's there to study?
They let you know that they understand exactly what the issues are.
Right.
They understand it's economics. Due to what? Slavery, Jim Crow, federal policies, there's
for education, health.
Right.
Unemployment, Black people weren't able to be in unions at some point, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's go. We know.
Yeah. So what we studying? Y'all, there you go right there. Y'all done included, the study right there. Okay. You just said, okay, the lasting economic effects of slavery, Jim Crow segregation, racially discriminatory federal policies on income, wealth, education. What we studying?
They just outlined it right there.
All right.
Write the bill and sign it. That's it.
They say we must acknowledge that there can be no realization of the American dream without grappling with the lasting effects of slavery. They want to grapple with it. They just want to grapple with the lasting effects of slavery and facing up to the centuries-long campaign of violence, fear, and wrought upon Black Americans.
While we over here talking, they started the paragraph though. This paragraph started off with Native Americans though.
Yeah. Oh, they're gonna get back to it. They're gonna circle back.
Oh, I see it right here.
They're gonna circle back. So look, y'all heard that right there, right? Oh, right. The American dream, or what it says, we cannot realize the American dream without grappling with the lasting effects of slavery and facing up to the centuries-long campaign of violence, fear, and trauma wrought upon Black Americans. So all of this stuff happened to who? Black Americans. Now, what they going to do about it? The extreme gap in household wealth and income between people of color, especially Black Americans, Latinos, Native Americans, and certain Asian American and Pacific Islander communities, and white families.
Lord, that Rainbow Coalition.
What the hell? The extreme gap in household wealth and income between people of color, especially Black Americans, Latinos, Native Americans, and certain Asian American and Pacific Islanders and white families is hurting our working class and holding our country back. Democrats are committed to improving economic mobility for people of color. We will fight to tackle intergenerational poverty and close the racial wealth gap. How?
Because all these other people, they came here voluntarily. We've been here. So what they got to do with it? I'm confused. And they knew what was going on before they got here, and they still chose to come here anyway.
And nobody did nothing to them.
No.
Nobody did anything. There was no federal policies designed to keep them oppressed. There was no Jim Crow laws. There was no redlining or any of that was designed to target them.
Vote blue no matter who.
Democrats support policies to end discrimination and unfair practices in the housing market. They will empower local governments to combat gentrification trends that disproportionately harm longtime residents of color, and will create a community restoration fund to repair the toxic legacy of historic investments in transportation that were designed to enforce racial segregation. We will equalize access to credit and expand support for first-time home buyers to make home ownership and wealth building, the wealth building it creates, more accessible for people of color.
I mean, and y'all know out here in California, they're giving illegal immigrants basically access to the first time home buyer programs, which gives them the down payments as well as, the closing costs and things like that. And my thing is, if they're illegal immigrants, they just got here, how are they making payments? Because I have to go through an underwriting process. I have to provide for certain programs. Just say you're going FHA. They want 3 years tax returns, 6 months pay stubs, all these documents. Even with FHA, they actually want a copy of your birth certificate, or in their case, if you're I guess a legal immigrant, then they need your immigration status paperwork. But now they're fast tracking them to home ownership, and they have no proof of income other than the free money that they're giving them temporarily, I'm assuming. So they don't have to go through the same underwriting guidelines that we have to go through. They're fast tracking them to the American dream, and access to, generational wealth through real estate.
Indeed, man.
In Oregon too. Oregon is giving $30,000 down payments to illegal or immigrants. So far California as well as Oregon.
Shout out to Just Eve. What's going on, Eve?
Hey, sis.
Yeah, man. These are the Democratic policies, man. Not even policies, but these are the Democratic pump fakes, because there's no policy. This is just healing the soul of America. This ain't no type of legislation or nothing. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no bill proposal or nothing like that. This is just some shit that they throw out there to make black people feel like they're supposed to be included in something. Like we got some type of stake in this. Like those are our friends. You know what I'm saying? And then you have black people out here that will argue to say, well, at least they acknowledge us.
Yeah.
The Republicans, they won't even acknowledge your black ass, though.
Trump did, and specifically said who built this country.
He sure did.
I'm just saying.
He sure did.
He sure did. Yes, he did. That's something that the Democrats have never done.
Never, ever, ever.
As a matter of fact, Biden said that America was built by immigrants, remember?
Right.
Disrespectful ass.
Right. We need to start pulling them videos back up, man. We'll start reminding people of that shit.
Well, I had someone last week on Facebook basically telling me, doing the whole thing that Luke was doing, and this is an FBA, by the way, talking about lobbying, what do black people got to learn how to play the game. We can't, when we're talking about reparations, yeah, but, I would rather have, I think he said, I want to say he said the George Floyd Policing Act or whatever. And I said the exact same thing that you said. We already have laws in the book. All they have to do is enforce them. I want reparations. I want specific tangible policies specifically for Black America. Don't tell me that we got to wait and we ain't got to play the game, but I have a bunch of people lined up at the border who's being fast tracked to home ownership. You know what I'm saying? Who's giving free money, but y'all tell us, what about the debt? Ceiling, in America, right. America's gonna go broke. And these fools are telling us about, playing the game. And it's like, we know what the game is. It's already been taught, you know what I'm saying? But y'all still on some BS. And then why are you okay with them flooding and invading our country with other people that are hostile against you? And you're telling me how to play the game? Well, the first thing is first, close the borders. Then we can really start playing. Because that's less people whose hands are trying to get in our pot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that whole game thing. Like, we don't know how to play the game. We ain't lobbying. I was like, do you know? He was like, I don't see black people doing this. And I said, well, that's the people that you're around. Because the people that I know are lobbying. The people that I'm affiliated with are going to reparations hearings. A person like me am working, for Marcel Dixon behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Being on his phone banking campaign, doing his mailers for him. You know what I'm saying? Has financially supported him. You know what I'm saying? So just because you don't know anybody that's doing it, or because you're not specifically doing, don't think that Foundation of Black Americans aren't doing shit.
Yeah, it's a projection, man. Because I had an elder in my comments saying something similar recently. I think I posted you. I think I posted the clip of you when we had Zoe on last week, and you were talking. You were talking about Joy Reid and how she can't represent us because she's not part of our lineage and all of that. And there was an elder in my comments saying, well, I never heard black people talking about who could represent them and who can't before. Now all of a sudden y'all talking about who could represent y'all. Only thing I remember y'all doing was killing each other and selling drugs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't respond. It's an elder or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say anything to him.
There's a difference in the I did learn this from Just Eve. There's a difference in an elder and an older.
An older, that's true.
It is. So, we have to start, speaking. We speak to the elders appropriately, but these elders got to get something too, respectfully.
Right. But the thing is, man, we've had people going back saying some of the same things that we're saying now. Y'all just wasn't listening.
Right.
Y'all just wasn't listening. You know what I'm saying? The same way y'all ain't listening now.
Till it's too late.
But you were talking about how the laws are already on the books, they just don't get enforced and all of that. And so recently this happened.
Oh, right.
Judge dismisses felony charges against 2 former officers charged in the death of Breonna Taylor. Rules Breonna's boyfriend's decision to fire his gun as the legal cause of death.
Yeah, it's his fault.
It's his fault.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what they're saying. It's his fault. So protecting himself and his lady, from a potential burglar, because that's what they thought, at the hours, that they kicked their door in, we're being robbed. So protecting himself, from a potential burglar, suspect, whatever,
And that's really just I'm white and I say so because
absolutely.
Her boyfriend, he wasn't charged with anything.
No. Well, he was technically, but
initially he was, but the judge threw that out immediately. They said he was in the right. They ruled that early on that he was in the right.
When they charged him, though, that was when the cover up began.
Was that Judge Stevenson?
Yeah, it was. What it was is they charged him initially. They charged him and tried to give him no bond, and that judge did give him a bond, so he was able to bond out.
Right, but weren't the charges thrown out altogether?
Eventually, but not right away. They weren't right away thrown out. No.
Okay. Yeah. So, no. Excuse me, y'all. So, no justice for Breonna Taylor.
No. And I guess whose fault is it? Who we gonna blame? Are we gonna blame Project 2025?
Was that a Democratic city, by the way?
That happened in Tennessee, right? Memphis, yeah. It didn't happen in Memphis, if I'm not mistaken.
No, not Memphis. I forgot. Y'all remind us in the chat.
Let me see.
City was that in? Kentucky? What city was that in? Yeah, Kenneth Walker. That was her boyfriend's name, right? Kenneth Walker. Y'all remind us in the chat. What city was that in again? Breonna Taylor situation?
Kentucky. It's Kentucky. It is Kentucky.
Louisville, Kentucky.
It's Kentucky.
Now, is that a Democratic city?
Let's look back. No, because remember it was being run by Daniel, whatever his name's something. And he was a Republican. Remember the little goofy?
Yeah,
the little
black.
goofy. Yeah. Yeah.
Daniel Cameron, I think his name was.
I think so. Yeah. It wasn't a Democratic run city.
It's coming back to me. That dancing Negro. Yeah. Yeah, but most of these extrajudicial killings do take place in Democratic cities and nothing is done about it.
Yeah.
So that's why I was making that assumption. There's something else I wanted to talk about.
Did you want to talk about the truancy?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That should be at the bottom actually.
Yeah, it is. It is. I just saw it.
So yeah, I just recently saw that video, by the way. Because I've read about it before. Hold on. I click on the link, it's not coming up.
It is on mine. It's two, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, it's not.
Let me do it again. Did you copy? I'll put it at the bottom.
I think I do got it.
I'll put it at the bottom.
Yeah, I got it. It's just loading up. 1 second. Because we covered this story before. We've read articles about it before, but this is the first time I heard the sister actually speak. So y'all know those truancy laws have haunted Kamala, ever since she started running for president and all of that. And people come out and try to make excuses for her with those truancy laws and some of the marijuana charges that they were putting on people out there when they were holding people, nonviolent offenders in jail to fight those fires after the Supreme Court, told them to shrink the population. The jail was so overpopulated, it was unconstitutional, the conditions that they had people living in and all that. And Kamala and her office refused to let people go because they needed people to put out those fires and all of that. People make excuses for all of that shit.
Right.
When you see videos like this, to me, it brings it home even more. Like, what I'm saying? It kind of humanizes the situation even more. Like, this is a real person. This is a real mother. You know what I'm saying? Let me share this with y'all. I lost the audio, so I gotta reload. Hold on. Y'all bear with me.
And shout out to Nas Escobar 316 on Twitter for posting this.
I'm back. What's popping? I'll be tuning in. Okay, shout out to Mumia Ahmad. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, Daniel Cameron. Yeah. Appreciate you. All right, let me reshare the screen with y'all again. Let me see. Boom, here we go. And I should have the audio back this time. The audio should be back this time. Let me play this.
Because I have to go to trial for truancy because my daughter have sickle cell and she missed a lot of school. You heard me. Trial. I got arrested for truancy April 18th of 2013. My newborn son at the time, father woke me up after a long night of non-sleep, being up with my colicky son. Sheree, somebody at the door for you. And I thought he said the police. When you half sleep, half up, you're really not paying attention. And I go down the stairs, and to my belief, it was 2 police officers in front of my door. So they said, "Are you Sheree Peoples?" I said, "Yes." And they told me I was under arrest for truancy for Shayla Walker. I'm like, truancy for Shayla Walker? Huh? my face just, it didn't make sense to me. I couldn't put it together in my mind because I know I just had meetings with this school. I know I did. I'm like, I just had a 504 plan. We just had an IEP meeting because they just denied her IEP. And I'm like, this can't I just talk to y'all? And I'm thinking, they were there to help me. And he said, no, Miss Peoples, I have a warrant for your arrest. I said, so you telling me you're going to put handcuffs on me? He was like, yeah, it's the law. I'm like, okay. So I said, can I use the bathroom then? He was like, yeah, you can use the bathroom. Go upstairs. I use the restroom, and all I could think about is like, I don't have no thoughts. I didn't know what to think at that time. All I can do is just shake my head like, oh my God, I'm going to jail. That's all I kept saying. I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail. Like, for truancy, I can understand going to jail for something I did, that I stole something or I hurt somebody. I can understand going to jail for that. But going to jail behind something I have no control over,
Man.
So y'all get what she's saying. So her daughter has sickle cell anemia and was chronically sick, where she couldn't go to school and she missed a lot of school. Based off of this video, she went to get her IEP, individualized educational plan for her daughter, and was obviously in communication, it sounds like to me, with the school. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that her child was at least getting her schoolwork while not being physically in school, and she still got arrested.
And this is the thing, man. People try to distance Kamala from these incidents. They make it seem like because she wasn't the officer that knocked on the door and put the handcuffs on, it wasn't her. I literally got Negroes in my inbox telling me stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about the dude that's still in prison now, he had put out something talking about the evidence that's out there. Let me pull that up real quick.
Yeah.
Let me pull that one up real quick. You know where that one is at? Because I know we got that one in here too.
Yeah, I put that in there. I'll put it at the bottom if I need. But it is.
Let me play that one because I had somebody in my inbox. Well, it wasn't her. It was her office. It was the lawyers that worked at her office. I'm like,
yeah, but
she's
under
the
her.
You trying to tell me she ain't have nothing to do with that? She ain't know what was going on. That's it at the bottom.
I just put it there now. Now it is.
Okay, yeah. This right here. This is it right here. All right, let me share this with y'all. They trying to distance her from this stuff. This was her track record. This is her getting out.
And notice it's always a black person.
Right. Hold on. Oh, I thought it was a video.
No.
Let me read the caption. Hi, my name is Demora A. Henderson. In his words, on or about February 2006, I was wrongfully convicted of murder by the District Attorney Office of Kamala Harris in the city of San Francisco. During this corrupted trial, ADA Linda Allen conspired and conveyed false testimony by the only eyewitness, Christina Medina, who lied numerous times, changing her statement, and has since fled the country due to new evidence that ADA Linda Allen lied about the DNA that was deemed to be absolutely untrue. Also making false statements of the case and closing arguments to the jury, the same way she lied and fabricated false evidence against Jamal Truelove at his trial. My case was solely based off of what one person said. Since then, ADA Linda Allen has been fired and removed from prosecution in San Francisco Superior Court, and I have been cleared on all DNA evidence. Since then, the family of the victim has come forward and agrees that I am innocent. And I can't see the rest of the caption. Okay, yeah. That I am an innocent man behind bars and believes I should be free because I am not the person who committed this crime. Through new and further investigations, they acknowledge that ADA Linda Allen and Kamala Harris wrongfully convicted me while unconstitutionally violating my rights, improperly and fundamentally committing prosecutorial misconduct during my trial. If you ask me, Kamala Harris' office has altered my life, my kids' life, and my community forever. After 18 years, I continue to fight for my freedom. I hope that people do not just overlook the crooked, smart on crime tactics Kamala Harris ran her office on as District Attorney of San Francisco. And I pray that one day I too will have my freedom and to tell my story.
So he's still locked up.
Yeah. Come on, man. Come on, man. Well, it wasn't her. You know, she got people working up under her. She don't know every single thing about everybody's case. Y'all kill me with that shit, man.
And so he's been cleared by evidence or DNA and stuff like that by evidence. Why hasn't this man been released? Cop Mala?
Man, it's crazy. It's crazy how they do people, man. And this shit can happen to anybody.
Black people.
That shit can happen to any one of us, man. Any one of our family members and loved ones could be right in that situation.
Yeah.
This is the woman that y'all want us to vote for. Imagine if they had stuff that they could pull up like this against Trump.
Oh my God. Oh Lord. Well, look what they're doing with the Central Park 5.
Exactly.
I mean.
Yeah. She stated that she'll arrest parents for truancy. Yeah. I mean, man, you know, y'all do what y'all do. It's the couch for me.
It's the couch for me as well. If there's no tangibles, I'm sitting my black ass down. There's nothing in it for me. What am I getting up for? There's nothing in it for me.
I told y'all I like my couch. We about to end this broadcast, and I'm gonna go chill on the couch in a minute. All right. Anything else before we get out of here, Nicey?
Don't forget this Wednesday we are back with the Black Business Showcase. We're back with the Black Business Showcase. Omar Tyree will be in the building, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is this Wednesday. And next Wednesday we will have Knowledge Born Allah. So the Black Business Showcase is back popping. If you would like to be featured on the Black Business Showcase, you are a Black business owner or entrepreneur, please email us at godcastenterprises@gmail.com. That's godcastenterprises@gmail.com, or shoot either myself or Sincere a DM.
Yep. Let's get y'all up on that joint. But that does it for today's episode of Sincere Love the Godcast. Appreciate everybody tuning in as always. Shout out to our moderator, some chick named Star, always doing the damn thing in the chat, dropping all the relevant links and all of that good stuff as we chopping it up. You guys know you could go to godcastbooks.com and get your copy of 7 to Super Hey Rule Volume 1, 7's Big Move. And don't sleep, because Volume 2 is definitely on the way as well. Godcastbooks.com. And we'll see you guys soon. But never forget, always remember, we are not the master teachers, but we are the master students and signal boosters for the voices of the new Black media. Peace and Black love.
Like that. Let's see what's in the God's mind. Listen.